Hello, and welcome to this first case study in this section, introduction, in this course, Excellent HR Generalist or Excellence in Human Resources Management. So, in this lecture, we will talk to you about a case study of building excellence in human resource management at an individual level, like you would be aiming, right, in doing this course. So, let's take a look at what this case study is all about. So this case study is exactly crafted for people like you, students and working professionals learning to build individual excellence in human resource management, not as a department, right? That we will talk about. How can you do that as a function as we go forward? But before that, as an individual person, how can you build the personal capability to think strategically, lead with empathy, and use data and AI insights? Now, this is a real world case study, right? Which has a challenging situation, personal growth journey, and actionable insights for you to learn and build on that as you go forward in this course. So, this is a case study of developing HR excellence through self leadership, data driven thinking and empathy, designed for students or early career professionals, HR professionals like you, aspiring to build individual mastery in HR. And it is inspired by, real life cases from global HR leaders at Unilever, IBM, and Accenture. So, shall we look at this case study now? Great. So, as we know, all these case studies start with some kind of challenge, without which they won't be very interesting, isn't it? So, what was the challenge? So, meet Aisha, name mask, face mask, a newly promoted HR business partner is like could be any of you in a mid-sized technology firm in Singapore. And she was known for her efficiency in handling recruitment and payroll. But now she had a bigger role to drive employee engagement and retention in the engineering division, with the team that has the highest turnover and lowest morale. So quite a significant challenge, isn't it? So she got into that as usual. When she reviewed exit interviews, the answers seemed vague. What are the answers she started getting? No career growth, toxic culture, better offers elsewhere. And her manager told her that you are good with operations as you see above, Aisha, but what you need to do now is to think like a strategist, right? And this was her test to shift from a HR doer only to an HR leader as well. So that was the challenge, right? So what did Aisha do? So Aisha quickly realized that she was facing the symptoms, not causes. Exit interviews were reactive, right, and emotional. Employee engagement surveys were very generic, and managers weren't communicating honestly. So she wasn't getting the picture. And she knew she needed to uncover the root causes, but did not have enough experience or data interpretation skills. So she decided to build her own capability systematically by following a self designed growth path she called HR Excellence Loop, a 5 step personal mastery model. Now, what was that? Let's take a look at that. So, what was Aisha's HR Excellence Loop? You know, it started, the first step was to observe. What she practiced there it was collection of behavioral and feedback data. And the kind of tool she used was the sentiment analysis from employee chat tools using AI. And what she learned was that the problems weren't pay related, but they were recognition related. And then she got on to understanding the problem better by conducting empathy interview with engineers and also used ChatGPT to frame deeper why questions and realized that people left because managers weren't giving learning opportunities. And then she got on to designing the initiative by co-creating micro-learning and recognition programs in line with the cause, where she used HR analytics dashboards, course recommendation tools, and the result was that her learning was that engagement improved when the learning was personalized. So personalized learning was her learning. And then she started delivering. ran a 3 month pilot in one team instead of going whole hog, where the nudges to managers were done on a weekly feedback basis. And as a result of that, the turnover reduced by 30% in the pilot group, right? And then she reflected on the whole experience. She reviewed what worked and why. And for that, she did journaling for reflection and realized that excellence was a result of reflection and iteration, and it is not one time fix. Excellence is a journey, right? So, what were the results after 6 months? 3 months, we saw the results. So, in terms of metrics like turnover of the engineering division, it went down from 28% to 17%, a very significant dip. Engagement scores went up from 64% to 83%. And internal mobility, the career moves, went up from 3% to 9%. Managers' feedback quality, which was poor, they weren't revealing anything, now was actionable, timely, and specific. And Aisha's own confidence from a transactional level went to strategic partnering mindset. So great results, right? So what are the key insights from Aisha's journey for us? First is you need to start with listening, not surveys. Real HR excellence begins when you learn to listen beyond your words. Because survey will give you some data. You need to dig deep to find the causes. Now, you can use AI in this world now, but AI is an amplifier of empathy. It surfaces hidden themes, but you need to connect the dots. AI cannot do everything for you. Then data without context misleads, so you need to always combine analytics with real conversations. The insights will be delivered in these real conversations. Learning is the new engagement, and people don't leave companies, they leave when they stop growing. And as Aisha realized in this case. And reflection builds judgment. The best HR professionals grow by reviewing every intervention, just not just by doing more. So that are some key insights from Aisha's journey for us. So what was the Aisha's personal growth roadmap? How did she plan to grow? So she looked at few areas. In strategic thinking, her challenge was to focus on tasks, not systems, and she started practicing building cause effect maps for HR issues, and the result was she learned to use long term patterns. She wasn't firefighting, she was solving problems for long term. In the area of empathy and influence, she normally felt nervous talking to senior managers, and she started practicing structured empathy interviews. And as a result of that, she earned respect as a listener. In terms of data fluency, her challenge was that she didn't understand dashboards deeply. And what she did as a practice to grow was to take a short AI and HR analytics course, and that made decisions backed up by insights she got. Then, in terms of change management, she tried to do too many things at once, and now, as a growth practice, she piloted one small change first because that worked for her in this case, and she learned that small wins create credibility. And the last area was reflection and self learning because she never paused to review earlier. She was running from pillar to pillar. And here she started using AI journaling and mentor check ins to grow, and that built self awareness and resilience. So that was Aisha's personal growth journey roadmap. So, what was her realization? She realized that being excellent in HR is not about managing people. It's about managing how you think about people and combining data, empathy, and courage. And she understood that HR excellence at individual meant mastering three dimensions. Now, what are the three dimensions? Analytical, using AI or non AI or data and seeing patterns any which way. Analyze the situation, get to the root cause of the problem. Second was human understanding emotions and motivations of people surrounding you, supporting you, or affected by the decision that you're going to make. And reflective, continuously learn from actions. It may happen that you get it right first time, but 90% you will have to iterate, right? So that was Aisha's realization. So, what are the key lessons for aspiring HR professionals like you and me? Me, I am a little far out of that, but for you. So, first, you need to shift from HR tasks to human insights. Just don't track attendance, or surveys. Understand why people feel what they feel, what they do, why they do that. Use the tools ethically and empathetically, including AI. Let technology free use from the admin work so that you can focus on human insights. Whatever the technology is, today it's AI. Earlier it was SAP. Design small, measurable experiments because excellence grows through testing and iteration. Excellence doesn't come through the roof directly in your lab. Build personal credibility through consistency because reliability is the first currency of influence in HR. And reflect regularly because excellence is a muscle. It grows only when exercised. So reflect regularly. So here is a suggested learning activity for you to build your muscle. The hidden turnover challenge, where the objective is to build HR problem solving excellence at your individual level. The first step would be to choose a fictional or a real organization with high employee turnover, or any other problem for that matter. I'm taking this example of a high employee turnover. Collect sample data, exit interview themes, engagement surveys, reviews, and the works. Use tools, including AI, to identify hidden patterns and design one human centered innovation that is most important. Either it is recognition system, learning path, or mentorship program. And then reflect. What insight surprised you most? What did data and empathy change? How did that change your view? And what would you measure next? So that's a suggested learning activity. So what's the final takeaway? See, excellence in HRM doesn't come from policies alone, right? Policies are formed. The policies are not static and they're not cast in stone. They can change. And they can change from how you think, feel, and act towards people every day. Some policy might be formed wrongly in a day's time, it may be proven, and you need to change next day. Or some may be very strong and stable policy. Now, AI can multiply your capacity, or any other tool can give you a higher capacity, but your human insight is what creates transformation. So, stick to your own insight. So, what do we do in the next module? So, we will now take a look at an overview of how can you become excellent in human resources management, starting with an HR generalist role. And there we will look at these things one by one, starting with acquiring talent to developing talent to managing performance, etc. But we will first take an overview of this. So thank you so much for watching this introductory case study in this course, Excellent HR Generalist. I hope you're continuing to learn, you're beginning to learn new things, beginning to enjoy, and I do look forward to see you again in the next lecture. Please feel free to message me if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer your questions and do download the PDF file to take a look at anything that you need to.